Ari. Greetings and salutations. Y'all know what time it is. Fifth quarter. We're going back to week 8 to talk about a couple of things, as far as the recap, and then we're going to get into the week 10 that we got going on. Listen, this first season is what I expected, up and down. There's a couple of guys that's, trying to figure it out. Others looking like they're finding their stride, and then others looking like it's going to take a whole season to figure it out, right? It happens. But let's get into it. First up, back in week 8, we had the Bills win against the Bucks. Bills jumped all on top of the Bucks. They won 45-14. Then we had the Texans took out the previous user that we had, which was Rocket. He won this one by a score of 57-2. Is that part of the reason why Rocket felt like it was time for him to bow out the league? I'm only joking, but nevertheless, this was a terrible loss for that Panthers franchise. Then we had Saints and Colts. Saints won this one 64-21. That's way too many points that you want to give up. I'm sure the Colts had a ton of turnovers in that one, and that's why the score turned out the way it was. Then we had Cowboys and Rams. Cowboys won this one 38-10. They jumped all over the Rams and never looked back. Then we had Packers and Vikings. Vikings, I expected the Vikings to have a year one. It's not happening right now. And Green Bay took advantage at home in this one against their division rival. Then we had Dolphins and Pats. This was a close one, but, listen, in the NFL, it doesn't matter about how many points you win, just win. That's what the Dolphins did. They won 27-24. A couple of weeks ago, the Pats had about one loss, sitting pretty. They are now dropped to third place in that division. They got some work to do over there, but nevertheless, it is New England. It's only but so much they can do. And they started off hot, but they definitely has hit a cold patch. Then we had Giants and Jets. Giants won this one 49-21. They jumped all over the Jets from the start. Then we had Falcons and Titans. Falcons won this one 17-10. Big win for the Falcons. Just to climb back in that division. Nobody's a gimme, so you want to take every game and do what you need to do to get the W. Jags and Steelers. Jags won this one 43-34. Pittsburgh got about, 4 losses going on over there. They got a lot to clean up over there. I think he lost his quarterback for the year. My boy P. Earl, look like it's gonna get worse before it get better. But if there's anybody that I know that can pull back and handle adversity, it's this man right here, P. Earl. But he definitely got his work cut out for him. He could kiss the division goodbye. That's not happening. Between the Bengals' hot start, the Ravens' hot start, there's no room in that division for the Steelers. So the Steelers right now are going to have to focus on getting it done for a wild card spot. Then we had myself against the Redskins. We won this one 26-19 on the road. Then we had Browns and Seahawks. Browns won this one 39-35. Good win for Black Star. Way to come in the league and get the job done. So these are the type of things that I like to see. Good win for Black Star. You know what I mean? Because, we know DP, we know he's a good user and everything, but Black Star came in, had a game plan, stuck with it, got the job done. Big win for that Browns team. Ravens and Cards. Ravens won this one 34-17 convincingly. Huskies took out the Broncos. They won 42-30. Good division win for the Huskies. Bengals and Niners. Carnage won this one over Claw, giving him his first loss of the season, 21-16. That's a big win for the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Very big win. If I'm the Niners, it's only the first loss, nothing to really trip on, although, the goal is to try to win as many games as you can. But they battled, low-scoring game, great win for the Bengals. Then we had Chargers and Bears. Chargers won this one 34-25. Chargers took out the Bears by 9. I got the Chargers, like I said, to win that division, but they in a dogfight over there. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, so what I was saying, I moved to week 9. Let me make sure I did all the week 8. So yeah, we had the Chargers over the Bears. Once upon a time, a couple of weeks ago, it's amazing how fast things happen in the NFL, right? I always talk about, the season is so short, so it's like you could go on a 3-game win streak and it'll get you right back in the division, and you could go on a 3-game losing streak and it'll take you right out of the division. At one time, it looked like the Bears was getting their act together, but now it's just, it's looking like he's back to not figuring something out. But it's year 1, and the important thing is just to see what works and what don't work, right? Who's going to be on your roster, who you got a spot for, who you don't. This was a force for the Steamers over the Raiders. They won this one 17-14 in the force on the week 9, which was the previous week that we just came from. First up, we had Dre must have been getting punched lately, because at one time he climbed back in the division. He had won like 3 straight. I thought he was on to something, but nothing was happening. Week 9, we had Steelers and Titans. Titans, I don't think the Titans got a win yet. This is a very, very dark season for them. At this point in time, if I'm them, it's just, because, at the end of the day, right, we all playing for something, right? For the guys that missed the playoffs, you playing for next season. What I mean by that is you playing to figure out what works. You know what I'm saying? You playing to figure out what works. Because at the end of the day, you got to figure, all right, cool, if you missed the playoffs, now you got to figure out, all right, what can we do different to take in the next season, right? Because whatever style, playbook, whatever you was using that haven't been working, the goal is to now find what will work to end the season on a positive note to go into next season. So if I'm the Titans right now, it's like, all right, cool, we don't have no wins yet. Let's just try to find something to take into the second half of the season, and not only that, carry into next season, because the beauty of it all right, after one season there's a next season, so you don't want to take the same thing that wasn't working into one season to next season. So if I'm the Titans, it's just about finding the personnel that we need and figure out what works, even if that's a new playbook. Dolphins and Huskies. Dolphins won this one 20-17. Hard-fought win. Dolphins pulled it off on the road. I don't think the Dolphins have lost the game yet since he's lost to the Bills. I think the Dolphins got about 5 straight now. Seemed like that loss he took to the Bills might have woke him up. So that's a great win for this Dolphins team over the Huskies, who's also been having a pretty good season. Well, not a pretty good season. They've been having a good season themselves. So good victory for the Dolphins on the road. They had to go into Tokyo and pull that off. This one was Falcons and Vikings. Falcons got the force in this one. Cards and Browns, that's one thing, with the Browns, right? You played good one week and took out a tough opponent in Seattle, and then you lose the following week against an opponent who's been struggling. So now this type of loss negates to the big win that you had, right? Because that's what you got to have in these leagues, in the NFL period. You got to have consistency. If you come out and you beat the number 1 seed one week, that's a great win, right? But then if you lose to a team that's under 500, that now negates the big win that you just had. Because, when you look at it, you like, all right, we might not beat the number 1 team in the league or number 2 team, but we'll beat this team that's ranked 25th. right? So when you do beat the team that's ranked 1 to 2, you must beat that team. Not to say that the Cardinals ranked 25th, but what I'm basically saying is that, he's been struggling lately. So if you beat a good opponent, you gotta capitalize and beat an opponent that you feel like, all right, he's struggling. Let's go out and get this win. So good win for the Cards, bad loss for the Browns. Next we had Packers and Rams. That's Corliss. He took out Huff 45-21. This Rams team, listen, man, they're gonna take their lumps. They're gonna take all their bruises this season. But if I'm the Rams, I'm concentrating on also what key guys we're gonna carry that's on this roster this season into next season, and just think about all the stuff that we need to draft. If I'm the Rams, that's what I'm doing, and that's what whatever I do, I'm trying to work on building that up for the rest of this season. Texans and Bucks. Josh been putting up some numbers lately. That's what I've been noticing. He won 42-14 over the Bucks. This Bucks team, a few weeks ago, they too, remember when I put out a top 10, which I haven't done, which I will be doing, I will be putting out another top 10, by tomorrow or something like that. I had the Bucks in the top 10, and they've been losing, so they're nowhere near the top 10 now. But I always tell y'all, this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. So it ain't about how you start, it's how you finish. But the Texans right now, in my opinion, I think they're probably one of the they're not the hottest team in the league, but they got to be one of, because they've been putting up a ton of points. So they found something over there, and it's been working. Bears and Saints. Bears won this one 59-37. Bears needed this one badly. Saints scored 37, and most of the time when you feel like you scored 37 points, you should win. But you scored 37 points and get blown out. That is not a good remedy. So Saints got some figuring out to do over there. Good win for the Bears. Next, we had Patriots and Commanders. Patriots won 38-29. They needed this one badly to stop the bleeding. But they too have about 3 losses over there. And right now, that doesn't have them in first anymore. They are now about in third place over there in that AFC East. Then we had Ravens and Seahawks. Ravens blew out the Seahawks 54-28. This is a good win for the Ravens, right? Because the Seahawks, they just came off a loss last week to the Browns. So you knew they was coming into this week to figure that they could at least, get some get back. But nah, they ain't get back. They got back. They took a bad loss this week. They got about 4 losses now. Don't know what's going on over there in Seattle right now, but they're struggling. They started off hot, but again, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. So, this Raven team jumped all over this Seattle team, never looked back. They put up almost 60 points. Big win for Baltimore at home. Then we had Panthers and Colts. This was Rocket, I still believe. I don't think the new Panthers user took over just yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think he did yet. But, Colts, my boy Dwayne over there, he got to figure something out over there. If I'm Dwayne, I'm spending the rest of this season on building up Anthony Richardson. You know what I'm saying? That's my goal. Playoffs out the window, but there's no need to let the whole season go down the drain. You might as well go ahead and start building up Anthony Richardson. I know you still want to give that running back his touches, but at this point in time, you got to look for a breakout game or something for Richardson. Something got to come out of this season than just, losing constant games. Next, we had Cowboys against myself. Listen, I came into this game not prepared, and I came into this game not prepared because honestly, I was going off of what I was seeing. I seen G lose more games than he won. So I ain't even coming to this game with I just came to this game feeling like, I don't want to say I felt like I could experiment, but I wasn't locked in at all. I felt like, G struggling bad. I could just come in and work on some stuff. And it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen, and that's my fault for even acting like that because I'm not even comfortable with the game itself yet. I'm still learning how to play this game. So that's shame on me, but Nevertheless, he did what he had to do. He won this one, the first of our two meetings. Then we had Giants and Raiders. This was a force for the Giants. It looked like they played, but I don't know what happened. The game didn't save or something. I'm not sure what happened, but Giants won this one over the Raiders. Good win for this Giants team because the Raiders, they've been hot. They've been hot since the word go. So Giants got a much needed win. This is a tight NFC East going on right now. So Giants needed that one and he pulled it out. Great win for this Giants team. Then we had Bills and Bengals. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Bills was the first team to get the Bengals their first loss of the season. Big time win for the Bills. If I would have did the predictions this week, I would have took the Bengals over the Bills. But the Bills is also, like I said, he's one of them teams that it ain't how you start, it's how you finish, right? He took a loss to the Commanders, which is a bad loss. And, it's easy to write teams off from that. But nah, he didn't let that steer him away from knowing to do what he got to do. He got a big win over the Dolphins. Now he got a big win over the Bengals. Bills got some big wins, you know what I mean? So he got something going on right now over there in Buffalo, playing to his advantage. If I'm him, I'm staying with it. No need to switch nothing, to try nothing new. Stick with what's working. Great win, great impressive win because the Bengals been hot. They've been hot like fish grease, So for him to win 47-28, that's an impressive win, Now, if I'm the Bengals, I ain't tripping. It's my first loss of the year, right? This win means more to the Bills than the loss means to the Bengals. If I'm the Bengals, only our first loss. Who cares? But if I'm Buffalo, I'm definitely encouraged by this win, right? Because you did something that nobody else haven't done up to this point. So great win for Buffalo. Then we had Jets and Chargers. This is an upset right here. Chargers, in order for them to win that division, they must take care of business. This is a bad loss. And not only because they lost, but they gave up 44 points. This is like the Chargers team that's playing in real life right now, right? Chargers in real life can't stop a nosebleed. They defense, and they got all the names over there, right? They got Khalil Mack, they got Bosa, they got Derwin James, they got the cornerback J.C. Jackson. Like, they got a lot of names over there, but they're not stopping nobody. And this type of game is a representation of that. This is a bad loss for the Chargers. Like, I would have took the Chargers to blow out the Jets in this one if I'd have done predictions. They didn't get the job done, and these type of losses come back and haunt you, right? Because when you look back, if you miss out on the division by one game, these are the type of games that you go back to and be like, man, how did we lose this? And not even so much how did we lose it, how did we give up 44 points? The Jets been struggling. E-ball got Aaron Rodgers looking like Zach Wilson over there, even though he's playing with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know what happened with this game. I didn't see it, but terrible loss for the Chargers. On to the current week that we are in right now. Quite a few games been played. We got Panthers and Bears. All right, this I know is the Panthers. Welcome to the league, Dwayne. Got a 2-point conversion in the end to win by one. That took a lot of kahunas. It's not like you did it because your season is over. You're in first place in your division. So, I respect what you did. I respect that you came in the league and did what you did. Looking forward to seeing you make some noise over here, shake things up. I'm always intrigued with new talent. So, great win, great way to, welcome yourself to the league, man. Bears ain't having the best season, but as you can see, it still was a hard-fought game. He won 36-35, but he said, no, I don't want no OT. We're going to win this or we're going to lose this. I respect where the man came from. Guess what? He won. Good call, good win. Next, we had Colts and Patriots. Man, upset alert. Colts took out the Patriots. I believe this is the Colts' first win of the season right here. And like I said, I don't know what's going on with the Patriots, but he started off hot, man. But he has not been hot at all. He's been he hasn't been getting it done lately. So man, great win for the Colts. Bad loss for the Patriots, especially being in that tough division. So you cannot afford to lose these type of games. Like I said, these are the type of games that when you look back at the schedule and you see what type of games you had, you realize that you start hearing this alarm going off. This is upset city right here. We bringing back the upset alarm. Y'all remember this? When you hear this, that means upset in the making that I'm picking, or it was upset that went down. Good win for the Colts. Y'all know I root for my boy Dwayne because I respect how he move. Win or lose, the man plays his game. He could give up 100 points. You ain't got to worry about him quitting. Great win for this Colts team. Next we had yeah, you had that, Josh. That's the purge. That's the purge alarm, bro. That's the purge alarm. Guess what? Texans and Bengals. Bengals just lost to the Bills, right? And he just lost to the Bills, and then he came and played and said, I warned y'all about the Texans. When I went and did my division predictions, I think I might have still took the Jags to win, but I said, do not sleep on the Texans. I said Josh is the baller. I'm familiar with him from previous Maddens that I've been in leagues with him. I know he can ball, and I said even if the Texans don't have a good season, you could count on him coming next season to bring it back. You know what he need to do, and guess what? Forget next season. The Texans, like I said, in my opinion, he's been one of the hotter teams in the league right now. So even though that he won this game, sound the alarm, upset. Bengals only had one loss coming into this. They now have two losses. They lost two back to back. No need for the Bengals to panic, but at the same time, they are in the division with the Ravens, who only have two losses themselves. So this loss makes the Ravens smile, and this loss to me puts the Texans on notice throughout the league. If any of y'all was sleeping on the Texans, does he have y'all attention now? I think he did. I think he does. I think he should. Good win for this Texan team over the Bengals. We bringing back that upset alarm and the upset and the making alarm. Get down. So we bringing back all our little fifth quarter elements to it. Next we have Niners and Jags. Oh yeah, they played this game. I heard about what would happen. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do, but honestly, the only thing they can do is either fair sim it, or if they want to play the game over and let it be a tie, they can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just play it, but nobody's playing to win. You're just playing to go through the motion, and y'all know that you're gonna let it be a tie. Or play one quarter, whatever they want to work it out. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's not too many options in this. Not too many options. But as far as I know, it's a tie. And if I'm the Jags, I'll take a tie any day because they've been struggling, and the tie right now is a win for them. Next, we had the Vikings and Saints. Vikings got a win, much needed win for his confidence. That morale had to be low over there because he's been putting up losses every other week. And like I said, I expected the Vikings to have a better season than this, but they ain't getting it done. But they got it done this week, so we'll see if this can carry on to something into the latter part of the season. Next, we had Steelers and Packers. This is a good win for the Steelers team, man. I think that I thought that he lost his quarterback. Let me see something. Yeah, he ain't have his quarterback. He played with Trubisky and got the job done. I told you, don't count P. Earl out. If there's anybody that can still pull this out without his starting quarterback, but let's not act like Kenny Pickett is a top QB. I ain't gonna say that neither. But at the same time, I would think Pickett is better than Trubisky. And P. Earl got the job done against a tough Packer team. Won by 10. So great win for the Steelers. I think the Steelers, in my opinion, has to be one of the most surprises of the league so far, the way he's been struggling. But if there's anybody that can pull off a good 6-7 in a row, it's the Steelers team. Don't count the Steelers team out, and this win right here is a prime example of that. Next, we had Ravens and Browns. Maybe it's a little too much for the Browns to handle, at least for the first time around. Ravens putting up 50 points back-to-back weeks. Ravens team looking like they're going to be a dangerous team moving into the second half of the season. Browns, You know, he got railroaded. But you know what? The good news is there's always a week 11. But, you know, he going to have to hold that punch in the mouth this week. Good win for the Ravens over his division rival. Next, we have Bucks and Titans. Bucks won this one 24-7. Like I said, Titans been struggling. I don't think they got a win yet. Bucks came and took care of business the way he was supposed to. Cardinals and Falcons, this game will get played tomorrow. This game is scheduled to get played tomorrow at about 3 o'clock. Don't know if they're the last game that's scheduled, but if they are, league will advance after them. I'm going to take I like the way the Falcons been playing. The Falcons been playing some pretty good ball lately. I'm going to take the Falcons to win this. They're in that division race. They're 2 games out of first. You know, this Cardinal, Calm, he started off good with the Cards, but he kind of hit a dry spot. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to take the Falcons to win this one on the road. I think it's going to be close, though, but I'll take the Falcons to win this week. I'm going to go 27-24. Falcons over the Cards. Next, we got Brooklyn Steamers against the Chargers. Chargers coming off an upset loss last week. He still only got about 2 losses on the season, I think, or maybe even 3 the most. So he's still right there in his division. He dancing, you know, but I think I'm going to have to go upset in this one. I think I'm going to have to take Brooklyn Steamers. Money Mascot, you know, he's been playing good ball lately, you know, so it's not to say that he's a real underdog, because he's not, but at the same time, I do think the Chargers favorite in this one. They're at home, but I'm taking Brooklyn to win this one. I don't know how that loss to the Jets is going to affect the Chargers moving in. Might not affect nothing at all. You know, they might come in this week and handle their business, but overall, Brooklyn been playing better ball lately, so stop. So I'm going with Brooklyn to win this one by a score of, I think it'll be a fair amount of points scored. I'm gonna go Brooklyn 34, Chargers 30. Giants blew out the Cowboys 41-6. This Giants team is starting to find their stride. They started off slow, but they're finding their groove at the right time. Like I said not so long ago, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. And right now the Giants looking like they're starting to hit their stride. So good win for the Giants over their division rivals, Cowboys. They win 41-6. Next, we got Seahawks and Commanders. I know Seattle, it feels good to snap that losing streak, and that they did. They win 35-10. They couldn't afford to keep dropping games, you know, especially being in division with the 49ers. 49ers only got 1 loss. Seahawks got about 4, so they about 3 games out. So he got to turn things around. He got to start winning some games, and it starts right here. So he won this one 35-10 at home. Next, we got Raiders. They blew out the Jets. Stop. They blew out the Jets 73-21. When I see 73 points, it just lets me know it's a whole lot of turnovers. I'm guessing E-Ball had about close to double digits in turnovers, if not double digits. Yep, he had 7. I know that. When you start seeing this many points, especially playing, 6-minute quarters, there's a lot of turnovers that was done. This Jets team, I think the Jets has to be one of the biggest disappointments as well, because I expected better from E with this Jets team. Like I said, he got Aaron Rodgers looking like he's playing with Zach Wilson, and that's just not a good way to kick off the season for the Jets to be struggling the way they are. And they got a good defense over there. So Jets got to figure some things out. My opinion, though, it's not the players, it's the coach. Ebo got to figure some things out over there. Then we got another game that gave up 70 points, back-to-back 70 games. So I'm guessing this game, too, had about double digits turnovers or close to 6 turnovers. Yeah, 6 turnovers, that's still a lot of points to give up only 6 turnovers. But I'm guessing it was turnovers in the wrong parts of the field. But man, at least the Jets scored 21. Denver scored nothing. They got a Dunkin' Donut over here. Don't know what happened with the Broncos, but everything just went wrong. Everything that can go wrong went wrong for them. And Buffalo playing some good ball right now. They won 75-0, dare I say. So yeah, that's I'm gonna do the 5th quarter tomorrow. With the week 11 predictions, but I just did the recap from week 8. up to week 10. So y'all can, anybody that didn't catch it now can catch it later. Tomorrow we're gonna do week 11. We also gonna have the power rankings come out tomorrow once we advance. The power rankings got shaken. The power rankings changed drastically from when I put them out a few weeks ago. Quite a few teams no longer in the top 10. And teams that wasn't in the top 10 is now in the top 10. So yeah, stay on the alert for them power rankings that's dropping tomorrow. Like I said, week 11 predictions tomorrow. And we get ready to start. We get ready to start making some moves to get ready to kick this other league off. So stay in cahoots for that. And we'll be right back at you like we never left. So stay tuned tomorrow for week 11 predictions. And that's the recap from week 8 to week 10 with the couple of predictions that's left. And I'll see y'all week 11. I'm out.